My name is Beth Venable, and I'm a businessman in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. I've got 3 biological children, 1 adopted child, and we're here in Ethiopia, primarily because of my wife. We always knew we wanted 4 kids, and first 3 biological, my wife had very rough pregnancies, and so we decided, okay, 3 is enough, and I had peace about that. God was still tugging on my wife's heart, and about 4 years ago, I told her we needed to adopt. I told her she was crazy, but it's the way God kind of worked in our relationship. Is He would whisper something to Beth, Beth would listen, she would tell me, and I would say, no, we can't do that, because I tend to like being in control and making plans myself. And then God hit me between the eyes, and I didn't think we could afford it, and it wasn't what we're supposed to do, and God hit me between the eyes and said, look, you don't provide for your family anyway, I do. So I went to Beth and I said, babe, let's look at this adoption thing. We actually looked into Haiti to start out with. I'd been to Haiti a few times, and then the earthquake happened, and all adoptions shut down. And we had seen the video for Lucy Lane, Christy Johnson's little girl, where they had adopted from Ethiopia, and kind of touched our hearts. And we knew that's where the Lord was leading us to adopt. So in February of 2010, we started the process, and ended up in November we came and we got to meet our son, Scarborough. We call him Scar now. And then in December we brought him home. And so we had an awesome time. My wife got to come both trips, and we got to experience Ethiopia and love on the kids. And then she had a brain disease, and as we were going through the adoption, she was diagnosed with it. And instead of letting the adoption agency tell us that no, you can't adopt anymore, we figured we'd be better to make that decision. And prayed about it and had a peace about it. And so by the time we had started, Beth had a brain surgery and had come through that. We were still on the waiting list. And so whenever we got our referral, it was one of those that, okay, I think we're ready for another child. And so that's when we went ahead and went through the process. And so Beth got to see him home. And now she's continuing to pour back into Ethiopia. After we got Scar home, Beth continued to get a little bit worse. Went and saw a specialist. She had another brain surgery the 1st of August. It actually was successful. Then she had some complications from a medication that they'd given her, and she ended up having a stroke and died on August 24th. So instead of flowers, I said she loved children, she loved orphans, and she loved Ethiopia. And she said, so I decided, instead of flowers, let's give money to Ordinary Hero. On Sunday night, I said, well, I'm a business person. I like having goals. So we're going to set a goal of $5,000. And God kind of whispered to me, and He said, are you not going to allow me to work? Because I'd backed into the numbers, figuring if this many people liked the page and they gave $25, then we'd probably raise $5,000. So God whispered to me, and so I changed that to $10,000. And we did that on Sunday night. And by Monday night at 6 o'clock, we'd raised $13,800 in a day. So then I changed the goal to $25,000. Again, God blew through that. We had an anonymous donor that said they're going to match the first $25,000. So we hit $25,000. That instantly became $50,000, and now we're up to about $57,000. Money continues to be donated. God continues to touch people's hearts with the way Beth lived and the love that she showed. We're here in Ethiopia to put our feet on the ground to see how we can best use this money and see how God directs us to use this money so that it can change the world for one. Well, we're in South Africa right now at the Masili High School. Lauren Putty, Kelly's daughter, has been working here, studying abroad, and has identified 4 kids who are at the top of their class but don't have the resources to be able to go to university. So these are children that have a future, but monetarily it would be crushed if they didn't have that opportunity. So one of the things that we're doing with the money that's been raised in Beth's honor is she loved education. And one of her dreams was to go back and get her PhD. And so we're going to use this money to be able to change the world for one. And in this case, we've got 4 families that we're going to change the world for. We want to extend a scholarship to you so you can go to university. Do not let this money stand in the way of your dreams. Who've given, if you feel led to give, Beth is already leaving her legacy here in Africa. She's already changed the world for these 4 children and for their families. Their lives are forever going to be changed, and that's the legacy that Beth loved orphans, she loved Africa, and she loved serving others. And so thank you for your help. If you feel like you want to continue to give, please continue to give and allow God's work to continue.